Okay, hello. Today I want to talk a bit about a personal pet project that I've been working on. It's basically an idea that I had already 2 years ago in 2017, and it never materialized to anything more concrete. I like flags, and my personal project is basically to combine two flags, which is the flag of Romania and the flag of Luxembourg. So here we have the two flags. So as you can see, the Luxembourgish flag is 3 horizontal stripes. The Romanian one is 3 vertical stripes. They also have a different aspect ratio. The Romanian aspect ratio is 2:3. The Luxembourgish one is 3:5. For my project, I chose the aspect ratio 3:5 because the ratio is closer to the golden ratio. For those of you who care, it's an aspect ratio that's often used in artworks and stuff, so I thought it might be nice to stick to something close to it. And then the original project in 2017, it started off a bit like this, so it looks a bit like a rainbow. I tried to match up the red of the Luxembourgish flag with the red of the Romanian flag, which is slightly darker, and same. I guess the yellow and the white are the only colors that are not the same color, but the transition, the gradient still works nicely. And here you can see the brighter blue and the darker blue of the Romanian flag. You can also kind of imagine like a more full rainbow or even circle rainbow, which is a shape that will also come back later. This never led anywhere, but that was the start of it. What I tried to do this time was to take inspiration from the Seychelles flag, which is actually still a different aspect ratio. And then basically similar to what I did with the rainbows, to kind of combine Luxembourg and the Romanian one into one single flag. So here you can see that basically we combine the 2 red stripes and just pick one of the 2 colors and then create this Seychelles-like flag. Can also work the other way, but then for the blues you kind of need to keep both blues because they are not close enough, and then otherwise the flags would not be recognizable. So if we now stretch this to the aspect ratio 3:5, we end up with this, or even this one if you want to keep both the red colors. I wasn't super happy with this just because it looks very, very close to the original Seychelles flag. So if people would see this flag, they might very easily confuse it with the original Seychelles one, even though that's obviously a very, very nice flag. Then pondering on from there to just cut the flags diagonally and then put them together. So here again you can see the slightly different reds, the different blues, and it works both ways obviously. If you either have the Romanian flag on top or on the bottom, and I'm matching up with Luxembourgish flag. So if you stretch this out to 3:5 aspect ratio, it's a bit simple. There's not much design to it. It was a good start though. Then I also tried to just create a gradient to kind of mix the color similar to the initial rainbow. But I do believe a good flag should not have a gradient on it, just because it's not very precise. Like it's hard to reproduce the same flag twice, so it should be like only geometric shapes. And then going on from there, so continuing with this idea but creating a bit more different. As I said, you could match it either Romanian top or bottom, or you can do both, like this one, and then you end up with this square design, which is also very interesting. There's a bit much going on, but I like that you kind of, when you would compose the left and the right hand side, it would again become the Luxembourgish flag and the top and the bottom. So it's kind of like very intertwined. And then also tried to bring back some of the old designs. And then the problem is obviously that if you have a round design, it wouldn't fit on a square flag. This idea also got combined with this idea. This is the Romanian Air Force emblem, I guess. Rounded insignia roundel. Not not that I want to do anything with the Army or the Air Force, but it's a very pretty design. And then working from there, you can also think of kind of combining the colors again like this, like top, bottom, left, right. But similar to the square one that I showed earlier, there's a bit too much stuff going on here. I tried here to bring this whole design into to a square shape as well, so kind of try to weigh out the amount of red that's in there, but still it's a bit too much like a target maybe, which is not so nice. Also tried to do something a bit like this, which is nice, but you kind of lose the initial flag in it, like people wouldn't recognize it immediately, even though the colors are the same. And then after I decided this is a bit too much going on, if you just take each flag once and I combine it this way, so basically because the Luxembourgish are horizontal stripes, the Romanian one is vertical stripes, imagine them coming together like this. And then I obviously wanted to stretch it out into the 3x5 flag shape. So I got to this, and then I made a bunch of variation from here. So basically here, what bothers me is that we lost the right angles. It would just be nice to have like clearly defined angles in there and not just a stretched out design. So I tried to bring this idea back in here to just kind of bring the right angles. And then you can see that actually the aspect ratio would make a big difference because you have to cut some of the side away. So here it looks a bit too empty, whereas here it's more balanced between the blue and the red. So the final design kind of went into that direction. Then I also tried some more bit crazy ideas to just take a hexagon and cut it up in its 6 parts. So you can basically see that this is the inner part here of the hexagon, and then lay out the flag. Still, it's very pretty, but you might lose the initial connection to the flags, just because it's 3 clear rectangles, filled rectangles. So if you make it to angle, you might lose that. There are some other ideas here that to be a bit more playful, bring in some round shapes as well, but just kind of have it a bit, the 2 flags a bit shifted. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then there were some more other ideas here that came along. So here again, to combine traditional flag elements like just a vertical line and a horizontal line with a diagonal line. It's a very, very simple construction, and then just put the 6 colors in there that I wanted. It's nice, but again, you lose the 3 user rectangles from the original flags. And then I thought I could also just like keep all the lines rectangular and straight. And then I wanted to play a bit with how much white I would leave. So basically the very simple version would just be this one with 6 squares. And this one would obviously be aspect ratio 2x3, which is still very nice, but it's also very simple. It reminded me a little bit of Elma the elephant, which is also only composed of squares, colorful squares. So I moved away again from this design and concentrated a bit further on this angled design. So if you would just go from one corner to the other corner, the angle would be almost 30 degrees, and then kind of if you move back to 15, to kind of go more towards the horizontal. In the end, I decided to go with this one, just because you can kind of still imagine the rectangles here. Whereas if it's too angled here, you don't know, this could just be a triangle. You don't have this connection to the original flag. Oh yeah, there were some other ideas here that I explored. So if you would just take 2 triangles of the flags and then cut out the flag shape, you would end up with something like this. It's maybe a bit too playful in terms of composition. It's a bit too much stuff going on. Similar to this one, if you would just take the roundel, you center it in this corner, and then you cut out this part of it, and you also cut it diagonally, then you end up with something like this, which is also very playful, and it loses a bit of balance, because even though these are exactly two concentric circles, it kind of seems like the white is bursting out that way, so it's losing a bit of that balance. So you can kind of see the evolution, like the different things that I tried out. I decided that this is the best design that I like most. I actually ordered a real flag, like a 3 feet by 5 feet flag, which is 90 on a 150 centimeter flag. It was a fun project to work on, just to kind of have a very basic composition that represents something that's a bit timeless. It's not too playful. Basically, what a flag should be. It should represent an entity without giving too much detail away. Just like a branding, like a palette of a few colors that should represent you. Yeah, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Thanks. Bye-bye.